It was supposed to be a day of celebration. After years of effort, Earth had finally sent a message to the Galactic Council, the most powerful alliance in the universe. Humanity had discovered faster-than-light travel. They had built peaceful cities on Mars and mining colonies on Jupiter's moons. Earth believed it was time to join the greater galaxy. Everyone watched the skies that day. People gathered in every city watching the Council's response live. News screens glowed on buildings. Children held flags. Scientists cried with joy, but the joy did not last. The message came back, cold and final. Humanity is too aggressive, too dangerous. You are not welcome in our galaxy. Leave no trace. Do not contact us again. The words were like a knife. To the heart, the broadcast ended. No explanations, no second chances. Just silence. The people of Earth were shocked at first. Many thought it was a mistake, a joke. Some believed hackers had faked the message. But soon, ships near Council space were blocked. Communication satellites were destroyed. Trade partners disappeared. Earth was alone. Truly alone. The Council had turned its back. The stars that once held hope now held only cold silence. The world fell quiet. The leaders of Earth met in secret. Old enemies, America, China, Russia, Europe, now sat at the same table. They asked one question: why were we rejected? They had given no threats. They had fired no weapons. They only asked to join. Then a historian from India spoke quietly. They fear us, not because of what we did, but what we can become. There was silence. And then nods. Yes, that was it. The galaxy feared Earth. Its history of war, its speed of growth, its passion, its will. The Council did not reject Earth because it was weak. They rejected Earth because it was strong. That night, the stars above Earth looked different. No longer a dream. Now they were a warning. But Earth did not cry. Earth did not beg. Instead, Earth vanished. Its public stations stopped broadcasting. Civilian ships returned. Mars and Jupiter went dark. All signals ceased. The Council thought Earths gave up, but they were wrong, so very wrong in secret. Earth moved underground. Its greatest minds disappeared from public view. The world's resources were now directed to one mission: prepare, not for peace, not for war, but for something greater. Deep in the asteroid belt, a black station was built. No light escaped it. No signals left it. It was hidden in gravity shadows, cloaked from even the best sensors. They called it the Black Citadel. Here, the plan began. Scientists built ships faster than light, but invisible to radar. Engineers created weapons never seen before. AI systems trained in silence. Soldiers were chosen not for power, but for patience, discipline, and loyalty. They were not called soldiers. They were called shadows of soul. The shadows were taught the truth. The galaxy rejected us. Not because we were evil, but because they are afraid, and fear breeds weakness. Their mission was not revenge. Their mission was balance. Earth would never be ignored again. Years passed. The galaxy moved on. New members joined the Council. Wars came and went. No one spoke of Earth anymore. It was as if humanity had vanished. Some believed Earth destroyed itself. Others thought it fled to another galaxy. Only a few old leaders remembered the truth and feared the silence. Then, one day, a merchant ship disappeared near the rim. No distress call, no debris, only a strange symbol left on a drifting panel. A black sun. The same night. A whisper echoed through secret channels. A coded message, old Earth style, we remember. Panic began to rise. The Council tried to hide it, but more ships vanished. Stations lost power. Weapons failed without reason. Trade stopped flowing. Something was moving in the dark, and it was watching back on Earth. Deep beneath the Black Citadel, a man stood before a screen showing the galaxy map. His eyes were calm, his voice quiet. Let them think we are ghosts. Let them wonder. Let them fear their own shadows. He pressed a button. A single red dot appeared over a Council system. The first target, the day they turned their backs, was the day we became more than human. The world believed Earth had disappeared. No signals, no ships, no movement. But Earth had not died. It had gone silent, to become stronger, far from the Council's eyes, deep in the asteroid belt. Earth had built a secret kingdom. It had no name on maps, its engines made no sound. Its walls were painted black to hide in the stars. This was the Black Citadel, the heart of Earth's secret empire. Inside, thousands of workers moved like shadows. No one shouted. No one wasted time. Every second was used to build the future. Earth's leaders had chosen a new path. No more waiting, no more begging for peace. The galaxy had closed its doors. Now, Earth would build its own Dorand, break through with force. The shadows of soul were born. They were not like normal soldiers. They were trained in silence, raised in darkness, taught to strike and disappear. Each one knew the truth. We were banished. Now we rise. In one deep chamber, General Ava Sarin looked over a long table. On it were small models council, ships, planets, trade routes. Beside them stood Earth's new ship Sleek. Fast, black as space, she spoke calmly. We will not attack now. That is what they expect. We will learn, watch, prepare. When we move, the galaxy won't know until it's already too late. Outside the Citadel, new fleets were born. Silent vulture ships with sound-absorbing armor and no engines that glowed. Blackthorn's missiles that could pierce any shield, but left no heat trail. Ghost drones machines that could shut down entire space stations without a shot fired. And then, Earth built the most powerful tool of all, the silent net, a hidden web of satellites spread slowly across the stars. They could listen to any message, see any ship, and even erase a star system from a map hole without anyone noticing. It took years, but Earth was patient now. Meanwhile, the Council laughed. They were always too emotional, one alien said. They probably destroyed themselves. We never should have answered them at all, said another. Now we don't have to deal with their noise. They believed the problem was over. They were wrong. In a dark corner of space, a scout ship from the Council flew near a strange signal. It was small, weak, almost like an old Earth broadcast. Curious. The ship moved closer. Inside, a bored pilot joked, "Maybe it's one of those human songs." He pressed play, but it wasn't a song. It was a voice-cold human. Clear. "We see you." The screen turned black dot, then the ship vanished. Back at the Black Citadel, Commander Rian Voss watched the footage. He turned to General Ava. "Test successful. No trace left." She gave a small nod. "Begin Phase 2. Now Earth's secret. Empire spread even faster. Small outposts were built on moons with no names. Trade routes were mapped then quietly cut. Old Earth agents, who had been left behind years ago, now called sleepers, were waking up on alien worlds. They blended in. They listened. They whispered lies that turned allies into enemies. A quiet war had begun, but the galaxy didn't even know. In a council meeting on Prime Station, nervous whispers began. "Have you noticed ships going missing? Some systems are offline. Pirates?" Maybe one general shook his head. "No, pirates leave wreckage. These disappear." The room grew cold. Another leader leaned in. "You don't think it's don't say it?" Someone interrupted. "Earth is gone." But deep down, they all felt it. Something was moving in the dark. One alien intelligence officer pulled up a strange image found on a lost freighter. A circle, black as space, a simple symbol. But he knew what it meant. "The Black Sun," he whispered. "They're back on Earth." The people didn't know everything, but they felt a change. Factories ran night and day. Young minds were pushed into science and tech. Old ruins were turned into training zones. And across every city, one quiet slogan appeared on screens, buildings, and even school books: "Never again." The stars had turned their backs, but Earth was not defeated. It was waiting, and now its shadow was spreading. The galaxy was quiet. Too quiet, Tots. Ships moved, stations blinked. But something had changed. Out in the rim sectors, traders spoke in low voices. They told stories of strange signals, missing freighters, and shadows that moved too fast to see. At first, no one believed them. But then, it happened. A merchant vessel named Silver Eye was traveling through neutral space. It carried spice, water, and 10 passengers. Everything seemed normal until the stars outside disappeared. Not because of a planet, not because of darkness, but because something massive blocked them. The captain rushed to the window. What he saw made a shot. The Silver Eye vanished. No distress call, no escape pods. Only one thing remained. A single floating panel. Maybe a pirate. Raid, but whispers spread. People remembered Earth's warning years ago. Now, fear began to rise again. In a deep council bunker, General Threx, an old alien warrior with skin like cracked stone, looked over the report. His face was calm, but his eyes burned with fear. He turned to his assistant. "This is not pirates. This is precision. This is Earth." The assistant looked confused. "But Earth is gone. They haven't sent a message in years." "Exactly." In the Black Citadel, far from any known map, the Shadows of Sol stood in formation. General Ava Saren walked between the lines. Her steps were quiet, but full of power. She looked at the soldiers. But this was only the beginning. No crew. Its AI was smarter than any human it could cloak, hack, and destroy. All without a sound. It was a ghost made of metal. Its job was simple: make them afraid, and it worked. Days later, a patrol near the edge of council space vanished. Again, no noise, no warning. Of a drifting drone, by now the council could no longer hide it. They sent out a public message to the unknown force behind these attacks. "Step forward. Identify yourself." There was no answer, only silence. Then, across the galaxy, on every station, every screen, every comm tower, "We are Earth." The galaxy panicked. Some races called for war, others begged for peace. And Efuthos, who had once Voss stood in front of a glowing map. Red dots showed systems where Earth had already placed drones. "The Council is scared. Now," he said to his officers, "let's make them desperate." In a quiet sector, a Council battleship responded to a distress call. It found a cargo ship floating, power offline. As they approached the battleships, Commander sent a scan, but the scan returned something strange: Earth code, before they could react. A hidden drone inside the cargo ship sent an EMP burst. The battleship's systems shut down instantly, and then fear grew. The galaxy had once ignored Earth. The father, once a soldier during the Earth rejection war, looked up at the stars. "They're the ones we pushed away. And now they're coming back." The council halls were quiet, not peaceful, silent with fear. Leaders from dozens of alien species sat around a glowing table. Their faces showed worry, anger, confusion. The silence was broken by one voice. Their back, General Threx, the old war leader from the rejection vote, stood tall. Earth never died. They vanished, and they planned to deny it, but no one did, because they all knew, in the last month, weapons factory had exploded with no sign of an attack. The only clue, a black sun symbol, always left behind. Right before they vanished, one council leader from the planet Zelos slammed the table. "This is your fault. You voted to reject Earth." Another shouted. "Back you did too. We all did." Blame filled the room, old enemies yelled. A quiet figure watched. She wore simple robes. Her eyes scanned everything. She was a human sleeper agent. Left behind long ago when Earth was rejected, she had lived as one of them now. She was sending secrets home. Back at the Black Citadel, her signal was received. General Ava stood before a large screen dot. It showed live footage of the council chamber leaders shouting, turning on each other. Earth's plan was working. The goal was not to fight a war. The goal was to break the galaxy from within. The council decided to act. They sent an elite investigation team, 6 ships, fully armed, into deep space to hunt the source of the black sun signals. They never returned. A week later, a small box was delivered to the council. Inside, 6 badges from the lost ships, and a recording. It was a human voice. "We told you to leave us alone, but you never did. Now we don't need to ask. We take." Fear spread like wildfire. The people of many worlds began to question their leaders. Some asked, "Why did we push Earth away?" Others shouted, "Make peace before it's too late." But peace was not possible now, because Earth no longer asked. For peace, it had grown in silence, in anger, in strength. Behind closed doors, the council prepared new plans: build stronger defenses, search for Earth's hidden empire, call back fleets from peaceful sectors. But they were too late, because Earth already knew every move they made. One night, alarms. Just darkness then. On every wall, a message appeared in red. You turned your back on us. Now we are behind you." Panic broke out. Security scrambled, but no attacker came. It was only a message, but it was enough. Back on Earth, in a secret room under the Citadel, a council of shadows sat together. A hologram of the galaxy glowed above them, each system lit up in red, yellow, or green. Red. Under Earth's control, yellow, infiltrated. Green, still free, for now. One of the shadows spoke. "The council is bleeding. Shall we strike?" One final spark. And so, Earth waited, watching, listening, controlling, the galaxy. Didn't see Earth's warships. The galaxy, a new fear, grew not of war, but of something worse, a ghost empire, a silent power, a shadow that was once a world, now becoming a force no one could stop. The galaxy was cracking. Worlds no longer trusted the council. Trade routes were empty. Fleets stayed close to home, chosen its target in the Black Citadel. General Ava Saren stood in front of her commanders. Behind her, a large map glowed red. One star system blinked. ZARNOK-3.A Council, military post, small, isolated, lightly defended, but important. It had communication, towers, data relays, and deep space scanners. A perfect target. "This is where we begin," Ava said. "No survivors, no signals. We erase it from the map." The fleet moved in silence. 3 silent vultures. 10 ghost drones. 1 command ship. Nightfall. They left no trail. Their engines were dark. Their AI weapons were fully awake. At Zarnok 3, the guards were bored. No threats, no alarms. Nothing for years. Then, without warning, the stars vanished. Not because of clouds, because all systems on Zarnok 3 went dead. No power, no lights, no defense shields. This is an attack. Fast, full of fury. Beams sliced through steel. The station didn't explode. It crumbled quiet, clean, deadly. Back at Council HQ, the alarms came too late. ZARNOK-3 was gone. No warning, no messages. Just one thing found in the rubble, the black sun, and a short voice message. "Judgment has begun." Panic exploded across the galaxy. This was no longer rumor. Earth had struck, and they had done it with perfect speed and complete silence. The council called an emergency meeting. All leaders arrived. They were no longer proud, no longer loud. They were afraid. How strong is Earth? How long have they been watching? Can we stop them? No one had answers, because Earth had built its power in the shadows. And now, the shadows were everywhere. Back in the Citadel, Commander Rian Voss gave his report. Mission successful. No survivors, no leaks. The council is afraid. Ava Saren nodded, but she was not smiling. This is just the start. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, strange things started happening. A council warship's shields failed, and it crashed into an asteroid. A cargo ship turned around after its AI changed course by itself. A leader's speech was hacked. The crowd heard Earth's voice instead. These weren't battles. They were psychological strikes. Earth wasn't just attacking the council's ships. Earth was attacking their minds on a quiet farming world named Veltrax. A child found a piece of metal in the dirt. It had Earth writing on it. His father gasped when he read it. "We were forgotten, but now we remember everything." That night, their sky turned red. The planet's relay tower burned. Earth didn't want territory. It didn't want peace talks. It wanted the galaxy to feel what Earth had felt. Fear, betrayal. And now, the Black Citadel, a new room opened. Rows of screens showed every system, every planet, every station. In the center, a large digital timer counted down. Rian Voss looked at Ava. Phase 2 is ready. Ava spoke calmly. "The galaxy rejected us. Now we shape it in our image." She walked toward the timer. "Let them scream. Let them run. We've only just begun." The galaxy was on fire, not with flames, but with fear. After the fall of Zarnok 3, old enemies turned on each other. The council blamed rebels. Rebels blamed pirates. Some accused their own allies. But deep down, they all knew the truth. Earth had returned in the council's main chamber. The leaders shouted again. One slammed the table. "We must strike Earth now." Another replied, "We don't even know where they are." The Drail system pulled out of trade with the Council. The Chiron fleet refused to send ships for defense. The Signer Syndicate began building its own army. Each one hoped to save itself before Earth came for them too, but Earth didn't need. To attack. Earth only needed to watch. As the galaxy tore itself apart in the Black Citadel, they're fighting each other. General Ava Saren nodded. We gave them a small push. Fear did the rest. On the planet Kira, two allied species turned on each other after a false message was sent. The message said one side was working with Earth. It was a lie, but Earth had planted it perfectly. That lie started a war. Cities fell. Fleets burned. Earth didn't fire a single shot in another sector. The mighty Varnock Armada sent scouts to find Earth's base that they vanished. Only a damaged escape pod returned. Inside was one word scratched into the wall: every shadow is ours. Meanwhile, deep inside the Council's security network, Earth's spies were watching everything. They knew defense plans. Secret meetings. They even knew which leaders were planning to surrender. But Earth didn't want surrender. Wanted something bigger. Some alien leaders began to secretly contact Earth. They offered peace, information, technology. Earth's reply was the same. We do not want peace. We want silence, obey, or vanish. Fear turned to paranoia. Colonies locked themselves down. Ships refused to travel without escorts. AI systems were shut off in fear of hacking. Even trusted allies began watching each other like enemies. The galaxy was breaking, exactly as Earth planned. Inside the Citadel, a new map appeared. It showed 3 major powers about to go to war. Ava watched in silence. When giants fight, she said, they don't see the shadow beneath them, and that's when we strike. One of the shadows, an older man with cybernetic eyes, asked, "What if they unite against us?" Ava looked at him. They can't even trust their own. 2 fleets gone, another alliance shattered. Across thousands of worlds, people began asking, where is Earth? What do they want? Who's next? No one had answers, because Earth wasn't just a planet anymore. It was an idea, a warning, ghost in the system, and still. Earth didn't speak. No broadcasts, no demands, just silence and shadows. Back at the Council, the last message from a spy agent arrived. His final words: it's over. They are inside everything. They were never gone. They've already won. Then his screen went black. The stars were quiet, but the galaxy was in chaos. Alliances had shattered. Fleets had fallen. Worlds were burning, and Earth hadn't even shown its face. Inside the Council's grand chamber, alarms screamed. Red lights flashed across the ceiling. The last surviving leaders stood around a flickering table, watching system after system go dark. We've lost communication with Sector 9. Rebels have taken the Trinet array. The Varnock fleet is gone. No one knew who to trust. Some believed it was Earth. Others thought it was betrayal from within. But the truth was simple. Earth was already in control. General Threx stood at the center. He had warned them long ago. Now, he could only watch the galaxy fall apart. This is the price of pride, he said. We should have never turned our backs on Earth. Suddenly, the main screen turned black. Everyone froze. Then, a voice, calm, human, cold. You judged us. You feared us. Now you face the empire you created. A new symbol appeared, a black sun rising above a shattered council seal. The chamber shook. They've breached the outer ring, a guard shouted. How? Our shields are gone. Everything's down. Above the council's homeworld, dozens of ships appeared. No engine glow, no signals. They came from nothing. They were Earth's warships, sharp, silent, black as space. The sky filled with shadows then. The first strike hit. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't a bomb. It was a signal. A pulse spread across every system. Shields collapsed. Defense grids failed. AI cores shut off. Earth had hacked everything. The Council had built its strength on technology, and Earth had just turned it off. From the ship's Earth's soldiers, the shadows of Sol descended. They moved fast, clean, precise. They weren't here to conquer. They were here to end it. In less than 1 hour, the Council's capital was silent. No fighting, no speeches. Just silence, the chambers were empty, the flags were gone. Only one message remained on every wall. You should have let U.S. and back in the Black Citadel, General Ava Sarin stood before the Galaxy Map. Council territory blinked once blue, now black. The heart has fallen, Commander Rion Voss reported the council. I know more. Ava didn't celebrate. She simply gave the next order: secure the data archives, delete their history, and then silence their stars. One of the shadows asked quietly, "Is this the end?" Ava answered, "No, this is the beginning." Across the galaxy, screens flickered. All species saw the same message. The council is gone. A new power watches now. Stay in your light, or fall to our shadow. Some tried to resist. Their ships vanished. Some begged for peace. They were ignored. Stayed quiet, afraid to even speak Earth's name, because now, Earth was no longer a planet. It was a power, a shadow that ruled from the dark. And everyone knew the galaxy no longer belonged to the council. It belonged to Earth. The council was gone. Its symbols erased. Its systems silent. Across the galaxy, a quiet fear took its place. No loud battles. No great speeches, just silence and shadows. On thousands of worlds, people looked to the stars. They didn't speak of Earth, they whispered it. They feared even saying the name. Because Earth was no longer a world. It was a shadow that watched. Everything it listened, it judged, and when it moved, it erased. Back in the Black Citadel, the heart of Earth's secret empire, General Ava Sarin stood before the galaxy map. It now glowed red dot. System after system blinked with Earth's silent control dot from deep space satellites. 2 hidden sleeper agents. 2 fleets no one ever saw. We control 70% of the galaxy's signals, Commander Voss reported. Half their fleets answer to us, and the rest are afraid to move. Ava nodded, but she did not smile. This was never about revenge. It was about never being ignored again. New laws were sent out not with force, but with silence. Obey them, or vanish. Most did, those who didn't. Their skies turned black, their leaders disappeared, and a black sun symbol appeared in their place. A few tried to fight. They thought Earth was stretched too thin, but Earth's empire was not built on open borders. It was built in the dark, behind every system, behind every power. Earth was already there, watching, waiting, prepared on a mining colony at the edge of the galaxy. A child asked his teacher, "Who rules the stars now?" The teacher paused, then answered quietly, "We don't speak their name, we just follow and survive." Back in the Citadel, Ava watched a new report. A strange signal had been picked up outside the galaxy's edge. Unknown origin, unreadable. Tech. Not human, not council. Her eyes narrowed. "Prepare the Ghost Fleet," she ordered. "Send a probe, quietly." Voss looked surprised. "You think someone else is coming?" Ava turned to him. "There's always something else." And so Earth continued. It ruled not through fear, but through reminder. A reminder of what happens when a voice is silenced, when a people are cast out, when the stars turn their backs on the wrong species. The galaxy would never forget again, because from now on, in every shadow, in every system, behind every power, humanity was there.